Hi folks, and welcome back to the Grumpy Gamer channel. That's it, you guessed it. This is that channel where you get to see this old git talk about modern games. So for today's in-car comments, just another quick video, a few things I wanted to talk about. Today is the 24th of November 2023, and today supposedly we are having released Very Bad Dreams VR, which came out initially on the PSVR one. I never played it on the PSVR one. I didn't pick it up. Not sure quite how I missed it, but anyway, there was a few problems and issues with it, I think, on the PSVR one. And supposedly now all those issues have been ironed out. There's new content been added, and I've heard lots of great things about this game. So I'm busy trying to find any reviews that pop up today to have a look before I possibly dive in later on. I'm sure I will. Everything I'm hearing so far is looking very promising with this game. A lot of people say it will scare you to death. It will mess your mind up. Now, for me, as you know, I love horror games. Good ones scare the life out of me, and I have to build up the courage before I put the headset on and dive back into some of them. As you know, I picked up Propagation Paradise Hotel when that came out, and I've sung its praises ever since. I think it's the scariest game so far on the PSVR 2. Absolutely loved it. The game got my knees knocking. So I'm hoping, if this Very Bad Dreams is as good as a lot of people are saying, I'm hoping it gives me the same knee-knocking experience. And if it does, I'll obviously put the footage up so you guys can have a good laugh at my expense. So is this a game you're going to be picking up today? It should be going live in the UK around about 4 to 5 p.m. So literally as soon as I get back, I'll be downloading it. Now, I could have pre-ordered it up to yesterday after midnight, up to midnight last night, and I've got it. I would have picked it up for like $15.99. However, the last couple of times, I'm not pre-ordering ever again. But the last couple of pre-orders I did turned out to be a bit rubbish. So it's like, well, do I pre-order it and save myself £3 because it's $18.99, I think, on the store? Or if the game's poo, do I save myself $18.99 by it not being so great? So we'll see. If it's good, if I see the reviews, I don't mind paying the £3 extra. It's hardly going to break the bank. Crikey, you can't even go out and buy a beer for that amount of money. So it's sort of neither here nor there. But I shall see when I get back. I'll have hopefully watched a few more reviews, read a few reviews, and that will then make me decide one way or another. But I'm already sort of 95% certain I'm going to get it. So is this a game you're picking up today? Are you looking forward to it? Because, yeah, fingers crossed it's going to be great, and I'm going to absolutely love it. So, next thing I want to do, just let you guys know, if you hadn't already, Stellaris Ghost Signal is now only just over £10 on the store. I saw it yesterday and thought, for that money, you can't go wrong. If you haven't played it already, it's definitely worth picking up. It's a roguelike game, but it's a great little game. It's honestly a great little game. I'm not sure whether the demo's still up for it. Possibly it is. If you haven't played the demo, definitely give it a go. But like I say, for £10, what can you get for £10 these days? That's definitely worth picking up in my eyes and adding to your collection. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about, holy moly, this is crazy what's going on at the minute. I see that PlayStation in many markets around the world is now outselling Xbox 7 to 1. 7 to 1. I mean, it's absolutely smashing it this generation. And I've spoken about it before, why PlayStation is doing so much better. I mean, the Xbox won't have you believe that. They say, oh, console sales aren't important. Well, they are if you want to play Xbox games. You've got a PC, no problem, or if you've got one of these new tellies, you can just have Game Pass. But if you're an Xbox fan and you've only got Xbox, you do really need an Xbox to be able to play it. So console sales do matter, and I think one of the main reasons why PlayStation is just flying ahead. One, they already had a massive player base with the PS4 anyway, but also it's the games. It's the games. Games are what's important. Not consoles as such, it's the games. If you haven't got good games, doesn't matter what console you got, it could be the best one in the world, but if you haven't got good games for it, it's not going to do well, is it? Let's face it. I mean, for me, just a brief history. Obviously, I had the PS1, PS2, and then when I got the PS2, then the Xbox, the original Xbox came out. I bought that, and then I sort of stuck with Xbox. I always still had my PS2. I got the PS3 when that came out, but I'd already bought the Xbox 360. Now, in the Xbox 360 generation, I really thought I'd never go back to PlayStation as my main console. I never really liked the PlayStation controllers. They're really uncomfortable. So, okay, the original Xbox controller was massive and not very comfortable. But from the 360 controller was like the most comfortable controller in history. I think it was a fabulous controller. So the controller was great. And at the time, the games I was playing a lot of online games. So I really didn't think I'd ever go back over to PlayStation as my main console. Like I said, I've always had both consoles. The PS3 I bought for exclusives, like back then it was obviously The Last of Us. And then there was, what's the one? I can't remember it now, but it was a great game. A bit sort of like Gears of War-ish. I think there's a few of them. I can't remember. That's my old brain for you. I can't remember it. Maybe it'll come to me in a minute. But so I played it really for the exclusives. Again, like Uncharted. That was another great one. But my main console was the Xbox. And I didn't actually change back over to having PlayStation as my main console till the last generation. I bought the Xbox One, and after about a year I said, see, I could have easily waited another year before I'd even bought it, because there was literally no games out for it. And I just found last generation Xbox just wasn't dropping big bangers. You know, I started moving back over to more single player games. Xbox just didn't have it. So towards the end of the last generation, I'd waited to get a PS4. And I thought, right, okay, instead of just getting the base PS4, I'm going to get a PS4 Pro. And then I can just play the exclusives that I haven't played yet, like things like Uncharted 4, there was Days Gone, etc., etc. So I thought, right, I'll just have it for those games. Now, I had a 4K telly, so of course I'm playing those games, brilliant. And I thought I'd still keep my Xbox One as my main console, because 99.9% of my friends are all on Xbox. However, then when new games come out, and they came out on both consoles, so you could play it on either, it's like, well, why would I go back and play it on the Xbox One when it's not like 4K gaming like the PS4 Pro? They're just not going to look as good. So that's how I just slowly moved back over to having PlayStation as my main console. And I just got sucked back into that. My Xbox literally just sort of sat collecting dust, because there was so many games that I could go back and play that I obviously hadn't, because it was late in the generation I got it. So yeah, that's when PlayStation became my number one console again. And it's the same this generation. It was a no-brainer. The PS5 was going to be my main console. Xbox, just sit there collecting dust, really. Yeah. So, and then of course the PSVR 2, and that's that. So I can't ever see me going back over to Xbox as my main console. And I do think they're going to be in trouble. I do think they could end up leaving the console market, which I really don't want them to. I've said before, competition is good. If Xbox leaves the market, you know, Sony's just going to get too big-headed, and then we're the ones that are going to suffer at the end of the day. Anyway, folks, that's enough of my ramblings for today. So let me know what you guys are playing this weekend, if you're going to be picking up Very Bad Dreams, and let me know how you get on with it. So until next time, folks, I'll see you guys on the other side. Adios.